In the debate that I'm going to open now, I call next speaker is Mr. Vusal Huseynov from Azerbaijan.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President. Dear colleagues, first I would like to thank the Madam Rapporteur for her excellent report. Children are the most vulnerable group in armed conflicts and wars. Children are at risk of massive killings, human trafficking, sexual exploitation and abuse, and notwithstanding the fact that there are numerous international documents and respective protocols in this area to support the children's rehabilitate and to prevent them from being recruited to the armed conflicts, but still report indicates that there are serious concerns, and which derives not only from the need to strengthen the enforcement of these international documents, but at the same time eliminate the gaps. Therefore, I consider this report as an excellent step in this direction, and I also welcome the approach of the rapporteur to try to bring peace to the conflicting side, which acts as the major source for this grave situation. Dear colleagues, one of the main principles of international humanitarian law is the principle of distinction. There should be distinction between the combatant and the civilian, and all attacks should be directed toward combatants, not to the civilians. But unfortunately, in our days in the world, we observe the case where there is a deliberate attack to the civilians. And I feel myself obliged to bring one case, which is noted in the report, but I think it needs further highlighting. And as some of you may know, during last summer, due to deliberate shelling of Azerbaijan's civilians, we lost a 2-year-old girl and her grandmother. Despite the fact that this is against all international obligations that Armenia has signed up, but there was no investigation and no questioning of the committers of this crime, so which once again indicates that this is the will and the essence of the top leadership. So I think, dear colleagues, we should be very frank and we should speak based on our resolutions, based on our documents we adopted. If we yesterday gave a warm welcome to Mr. Sarkisyan, to the President of Armenia, who publicly acknowledged and stated that he took part in killing of civilians in Khojalı town, which was the occupied territory of Azerbaijan, and which is increasingly recognized as a genocide by foreign legislative bodies, by international organizations. And the day after, we discuss here how we can improve the situation of children in the conflicts. Of course, we cannot be very effective, and by that, of course, we start losing our faith. And there is ongoing talk that we are losing the trust of the people, we are losing the objectivity. So I think that's one of the reasons. So we should name the criminal by his name, and regardless of the post he is holding. So therefore, I call on you to pay into attention this while voting to the report. And I again welcome this report and thank the reporter. Thank you.
Thank you. The next speaker is Mr. Vernon Coker.